Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the session on the importance of decision making. The power of a decision that I will be conducting, and I'm really thankful to Madam Neelam, who is conducting a course in spoken English, and she has invited me to give this session. This is both, I think, this is both a learning exercise as well as an exercise in English. So I would urge the students to speak their questions when I ask for questions, because this will give you a chance at conversation. Okay, I don't know why my Shams, your whiteboard has loaded. I did not invite your whiteboard. I don't know why your whiteboard has loaded. Thank you. Okay. So, and also you can write your comments or questions in the comment box on Zoom. The session is being recorded, and I always maintain confidentiality and anonymity of, I just said Shams, I'm sorry, but it can be any person. Let me just share my screen with you so we can begin the session. My granddaughter is here with me. I'm babysitting her. So if there are any, small disturbances by an 18-month-old, I apologize in advance. Here is your session. It's a short session. It's not a long session. I'm not a believer in PowerPoint, but this is the only way we can communicate on Zoom. So, then it becomes a useful tool actually. So, my introduction, as I told you before the recording began, I belong to Spire. I'm a director at an academic consultancy by the name of Spire. And Spire stands for Social Action for Progressive Innovation, Research, and Education. And we we work with researchers, we work with academicians, we work with your teacher, people like your teacher, Madam Neelam, and the topic for today is the power of in principle decisions. So that is something, and I'm sure that you have not heard this term before, in principle decision. Actually, the term really means when you are asking for a bank loan, or when you are asking somebody for financial support and they approve your application. That is in principle agreement. But here you're going to see what I mean by in principle decisions, because it has a different connotation um, for for personality building, for self improvement. Uh, here you go. Here you go. Okay. So let's move forward. The learning objectives that were shared in your group already are to describe one in principle decision of your life. So that is your objective. You better start thinking about it. Then differentiate between the results of self made decisions versus people made decisions. Because most of our life is dictated by other people. Log kya kahenge, log kya sochenge. I'm sorry, I'm speaking in Urdu, but I need to communicate that based on the group that I'm speaking to, because these are the phrases that dictate our decisions and ultimately dictate our lifestyles and our life choices. And finally, in a decision, to appreciate the end before a beginning. So these are my learning objectives for today. It's a comprehensive set, and I'm going to be moving fast through them, because all I have. Okay, so there is somebody who's here, because all I have is maybe 20 minutes left now, and I'm going to go over the subject content at an acceptable and palatable speed. All right. So what is a principal? One is a principal. That is principal. I am your principal. Madam Neelam is your principal. Your college, Madam Amina Sohail is your principal. That is a person. A principal translates into usul in Urdu, and usul comes from asal. Similarly, principle also comes, the root word for principle in either Latin or Greek, I need to study it, is something that is central or the core. And that is where principle, the word principle comes from. So it's a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior. Now, this is going to sound really boring because it's rote. लेकिन You need to listen to it very carefully because this is going to come back and hit you very soon. Basically, look at the important words here. Look at the important words in the definition. Maybe note them down because I'm going to come back and ask you. Fundamental truth. So a principle is derived for a fundamental truth or from a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation. So a principle, the PLE principle, is actually the foundation or the basis. It is one of the foundational stones or a cornerstones for a system of belief. So if you are taking an in principle decision, it's going to affect belief. Maybe your belief, maybe my belief, maybe whoever the decision is affecting. It's going to affect belief. And we don't like to change beliefs. That is something very hard. In order to change beliefs, one needs to take in principle decisions. It may change behaviors. So, in principle decisions will always change behaviors. Or it may start a chain of reasoning. And this is not just argument, just saying, like, sorry to use Urdu again, main nahi manta. No, it leads to a logical chain of reasoning. That is an in principle decision based on the definition of principle that we have. Okay. I hope that you have noted down the important terms here because they're going to coming right back at you. Fundamental truth, foundation, system of belief, behavior, chain of reasoning. Okay. Here they are. And this is your first assignment today. I love giving assignments. It sort of saves me time sitting on Zoom, waiting, doing nothing. So write one sentence describing a decision that you made in 2025 that had all the elements written here. Fundamental truth, proposition, foundation, system of belief, behavior, chain of reasoning. And I'm going to start the timer now. Now. And you have 1 minute. Write one sentence describing your decision. It's going to benefit you immensely. It's one sentence. You don't need to send it to me. This is for your own good. Rahma, coming back in 15 seconds. Hi. Salam alaikum. Mama. Hear me. All right, your time is up. I hope that you have written that sentence. I'm going to give you an example now. Okay? Here you go. A fundamental truth. So before you even think about making an in principle decision, and these are life changing decisions, here is something that you must know because you need to know the definition of a principle. A fundamental truth. So, I write, this is maybe I'm writing because I'm a doctor and I'm a Muslim, believing in Almighty Allah. And my proposition to myself is, what am I proposing? Excuse me, can you please mute your mic? This is being recorded. And my proposition is, I shall gather. So believing in Almighty Allah, I shall gather. And then there is a foundation. I need a basis for my decision. I need a place from where to proceed. a team of competent pediatricians. System of belief is who conform to the dignity of my profession. So what I want in this project or this decision is to, since I believe in Almighty Allah, that is the fundamental truth. It can be anything, fundamental truth is, since I'm a woman, since I'm a mother, since I'm a doctor, the fundamental truth can be anything. Proposition is what I want to do. Then the foundation is who I want to do it with, from where do I want to do it, who is my team, who am I identifying as useful to me. The system of belief is I want, similar people. I want people with the same mindset. So who conform to the dignity of my profession. The behavior that, what do I want to do? What do I want these people to do? The behavior is, I see comments. Good, thank you so much. This is really useful that you are sending your comments here. And I'm just explaining what is the proposition I just did. So the behavior that I want to, through this in principle decision, what is the behavior that I want to change? To see 5 patients for free every day. I want, a similar minded colleagues to see 5 patients for free every day. And the chain of reasoning is, what am I going to tell them? Why? Are they crazy, when they can make maybe 10,000 rupees out of seeing 5 patients? Because cost of medical treatment should never be loss of life or function. So I'm going to be sending this to your group, so you will be able to see it. You will be able to see the whole thing. Excellent. Idea, plan, statement for consideration. Thank you very much. Keep thinking. Keep thinking in the chat box. I love that because it keeps your minds active and engaged. Now, this is the example. If you want to take a photograph, you can, but I'm going to send this PowerPoint to your group. So you will have this example. But I'm sure now you can see, how in principle decisions can change entire societies. It's not just the individual. We're talking at individual level. These decisions have the power to change nations. Okay. So this always happens. I'm sorry. All right. I hope that, okay. Now, describe your positive traits in 5 sentences. And I'm again going to give you 1 minute, which starts now. All right. Now, again, for 1 minute, describe your negative traits in 5 sentences. Something you think is, negative in you. And your 1 minute starts now. and your 1 minute is over. So maybe you have 10 sentences written in front of you that describe 5 positive and 5 negative traits. If you don't, you may want to really hurry and do it because it is a useful exercise. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chandio. Thank you, Abid. It was very, very interesting to see that you openly admitted your problems here in the chat box. I appreciate that. I would do the same. All right. And we need to move forward. All right. Now, the sentences written in front of you delete the opinions of other people. Delete things that other people have told you. You know, for me, maybe, you get angry easily. You're too rushed. You get frustrated easily. Something, something, something. Other people have said. All right. And move forward. So basically, I mean, I'm sure that you were able to delete some things out of the 10 sentences in front of you, which means, that the things that come from inside are sometimes really different from what we think is the truth, what we perceive as the truth, what we think about, even what we think about ourselves, maybe coming from an external reality. So, in principle, decisions are something that come from inside. In principle, decisions are things that make you realize your potential and your dream and your vision, and that make you realize that you don't need anything from outside in order to achieve your dream. It may be, a lot of popularity, a lot of money, a good life, a good relationship. It may be, I don't know, it may be to change the world, it may be to rule the world. Whatever you think you can achieve. And it sounds really cliche, it sounds really useless, but that is the truth of in principle decisions. That is the power of in principle decisions. Now, what is not a decision is wishing, I wish this would happen. This is a wish. We wish for world peace. Who cares? And hoping, कभी मायूस ना होना. क्यों नहीं होना? When you have all the resources and nothing is happening, yes, this is a hopeless situation. And you make a decision that you are in a hopeless situation, and only then you can get out of it. Or even trying is not a decision. To, to make these half-hearted tries, half-hearted attempts, and say that, oh my God, I tried so many times. No, if you tried too many times and if you have a plan B, that means you have not made an in principle decision. Go back to yourself. Stop blaming everything. Stop blaming others. Stop playing the blame game. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you above all. And then hesitation, which is dressed as decision, to say that, I'm thinking, let the weather get better. We come from a country where people say this about life saving surgeries. I will get the surgery done. I will get this rotten tooth out. I will let you treat my cancer once the weather is better. एक दफा बरसात गुजर जाए तो. So we come from this kind of a background where these things dictate our decisions. So, and we always say how to proceed. How to proceed. मैं आगे कैसे बढ़ूं? The problem is that how always shows up after the decision, not before the decision is made. This is a concept. If there is one concept I want you to take away from this lecture, other than spoken English and typing in English and knowing PowerPoint, no, there's one thing I want you to take away from this lecture. It is this: the how shows after the decision is made, not before. You need to act. The need to act is taken away from us. We always think that since I saw something, that means that I did it. Since I read something, that means that I learned it. Since somebody told me something or I read a post on WhatsApp, means that I'm now knowledgeable. See, life responds to unwavering mindset, not to wishful thinking or hopeful waiting. You don't need to play small in your in principle decisions. No, 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 really. No, we be a bad baby. No, Papa. Don't wait for permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. And don't ask for guarantees. It is the will to act before anything that can lead you to greatness. And the greatest enemy of decision is fear, the fear of failure. And fear loves indecision. Fear will keep increasing the more undecided you are. Oh, so our patience is finally over, but so is our session coming to an end. Sorry, sorry. Here you go. Hey, Aja, baby. Excuse me. Oh, Doja, Chibi, Baba Ji Baba, Baba Ji Baba. Oh, so it means you are ready. You are serious. You are done with taking orders. You are done with blaming others. And you are done with the version of you who lives the status quo. So, until and unless you make a decision, you are not fulfilling any of these criteria. You have to take a decision to show this. Any decision. I mean, I'm talking about very big decisions, but any decision. So, the only thing worse than, giving up is wishing that you hadn't, that you had stuck and you had persevered and you had continued. Because resilience is now recognized the world over as a trait of successful people, not intelligence, not money, not finances, not family, not intelligence, not IQ, nothing. Resilience. So, like I said, that most of us wait for clarity to move forward. Let things be clear. Clarity only comes. Here you go. Here you go. Clarity only comes when you make a decision. Here you go. Hmm. It does not come before the decision. Clarity follows a decision. And this is my favorite quote, and I always include it everywhere. It may not belong here, but I want everybody to know because this is something that has really helped me make decisions. Between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and freedom. And this was said by Viktor Frankl. He is one of the greatest teachers in psychology and personal improvement. He was he was what Stephen Covey admitted to be his teacher. Although I don't know if they ever met because Viktor Frankl is from the Nazi era and he was a Jewish inmate in Nazi camps. And this is something that I've always found extremely useful. This changed my life when I came across this quote. Because when we choose our response consciously, we know where the response is leading, where the decision is leading. We don't act out of impulse. We don't act out of reflex. We don't act like animals. We use the entire brain to process a decision. And then we only begin when we know what we want the end to be. What is the end that we want to achieve? So I mean, this is all I had to say about the power of making decisions. And myself and Madam Neelam here, all of us, and the other consultants that we have several programs that can help in all the areas that I showed here, especially. Mm, Thank you. Thank you. So that was a short session. That's all the time that I had with you. And now I'm open for questions. We have 9 minutes left. So I just finished 1 minute late. I'm sorry because of the baby, not because of the presentation. And we can get to the questions now. I will stop recording here in case there is something that somebody needs to speak up or somebody needs to discuss. Don't feel intimidated. The recording is stopped now. Thank you.